Alright man, we've covered some of the most expensive legendary champions in this game in a recent video man, culminating with Pixniel, who requires a ridiculous 18 legendary skill books in order to get this champion fully booked. My god. And now it is time to cover the opposite end of the spectrum, man. Legendary champions that are extremely cheap to book on out. 18 skill books for Pixniel, Thea Tomb Angel, 7. Okay, basically, look at the amount of books that you need, man, to fully book a Thea the Tomb Angel. It's absolutely insane. And so we're going to be covering the bag and bucket legendary champions of Raid Shadow Legends and talking about, most importantly, are they actually bait for your skill books? Like, are they worth booking on out? Are they any good? Or are these must-build legendaries for basically everybody? Because even if you're only going to use them in 1 or 2 areas of the game, they're so cheap to build that you might as well. Hey man, dare I say, it might looks like the swelling and the sunburn is finally maybe starting to wear off a tiny amount compared to the last couple of videos, dude. We're also rocking the good old UDK hoodie today that PLARIUM sent me like really quite some time ago now, man, but it's nice and soft on my sunburned shoulders, dude, so I think I'm gonna don this for today's videos. Hey man, before we get started, if you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, the best way possible with the best beginner rewards, then look no further than our beginner promo link that you can click on down below at the top of the video description box, man. Just hit that link on your laptop or on your PC, use that link to make your new account. You'll get all of the freebies that you see on screen right now, as well as including Thorlin Foulbeard on day 1 of your new account by inputting beginner promo code Demon Slayer. That is all one word, promo code Demon Slayer, man, for Thorlin on day 1 of your new Raid account as well, man. Send that link also to a friend who's looking to start playing Raid to make sure they get off to the best start possible too. Okay, Thea Tomb Angel. Might as well start off with Thea, man. By the way, there's a legendary in this game that literally requires a grand total of 6 legendary books to fully book. It's absolutely insane stuff. I'm also not going to be covering revivers in this list because that's cheating a little bit. A lot of legendary revivers on their revive skills require like 2 books to get it fully booked, you know, so I'm going to be staying away from the revivers on this list. Thea the Tomb Angel is actually a free Doom Tower legendary champion, right? She's got a double hit at A1, chance of placing Hex debuff for 5 turns on this A1, like unprecedented debuff duration on this Hex. She has an attack all enemies, damage increases by 50% for each Hex debuff on the enemy team, stacking up to 300%. Okay, only takes 1 book, you know, pretty good, right? Maybe. Not so sure with Thea. She also places perfect veil buff on herself for 3 turns and gets an extra 10 on her A3 as well. 7 legendary books in total for Thea the Tomb Angel. Is she a bag and bucket legendary? Well, in terms of books she is, but bloody hell. Okay, these reviews are spot on. This is not a good legendary champion, man. She's a free Doom Tower legendary that you get for completing hard mode Doom Tower secret rooms, and so you will eventually get her for free on your account anyway, and she's worth fusing during like a champ chase or during CVC for just like free points during such an event. She's kind of billed as a Hydra specialist with the Hex debuff and the AoE smack on her A2, except for the fact that it doesn't really smack. It's just not very good. Again, I've already done a video covering Thea the Tomb Angel, testing her out in multiple different types of builds, comparing her to other Hydra damage dealers and stuff like that. She falls short massively, bro. She's really not it. Honestly, she just needs a damage buff, or like on her A2, she needs to place like, or rather on her A1, maybe just make this like an attack all enemies or something. I don't know what to do with Thea, dude. Maybe make an A2 apply a weekend or something as well. Because, yeah, even though she's so cheap to build, she's bag and bucket as hell, she's just not it. She's not good. Now, from AbsoluteWish.com piece of crap Thea, we've got another legendary champ that's an absolute monster in the form of Vulcanos Fumor, who actually only requires 8 legendary books. Very cheap to book out indeed, especially given this guy's power level, because, yeah, spoilers, this guy's a beast. Okay, he's a monster, right? The AO1 attacks one enemy each time this skill is used, permanently increase the damage inflicted by this skill by 10%, stacking up to 100%. And he's also got a chance to counterattack with this skill anytime an enemy under HP burn attacks any of your allied champs. So he's counterattacking all the time in PvP and in PvE. And that's because he places HP burn via his passive. Whenever an enemy receives a buff or has their 10 meter boosted, they get a chance of receiving an HP burn debuff, right? I'm not going to go all the way into all of his kit. It's a long read, right? With him being like a faction unity champion, but he brings a double hit to A3. He brings a 3-turn cooldown AoE smack that hits like an absolute truck. Also places fear against enemies that are under HP burn, which again he's placing that all the time. He's got the benefit of being faction guardian, so super powerful aura with your demon spawn champs. He's an absolute monster, and it's kind of insane that Raid are giving us this guy, or like Plarium are giving us this guy, and he only costs 8 legendary bucks. It's a huge win if you pull Volcanos, basically a must buck for everybody who gets him. Another Demon Spawn champion real quick that's also tied with Volcanos, also 8 legendary bucks, is actually Cheshire Cat. I'm not going to break down the kits like a lot for like every champion in this list, just the ones that I find really interesting. But yeah, Cheshire Cat, all kinds of cooldown reduction. Again, a total of 8 legendary bucks to get this guy fully amped up. Very good indeed. It just kind of make you wonder, man, like what are Plarium thinking, dude, when it comes up with like what is their thought process behind how many bucks it requires to get a legendary fully booked, you know? Because you've got like really like powerful champs, Cheshire, Volcanos, whatever, that require barely any bucks, you know? And then you got the likes of Pixniel, who's for all intents and look, every champion has their niche use, okay? I don't want to like I've done plenty of crapping on Pixniel on this channel in the past, but she's just not a very good champ, and she takes 8 legendary bucks, bro. So like, what is the thought process behind this, man? Especially when you consider that Pixniel requires 18 legendary bucks, right? 18 for one last time, I repeat. Then you've got Necrit the Great. Okay, now Necrit is like a pretty powerful champion. He's not like one of like S++ tier or whatever, but he's a pretty powerful legendary defense champ. You know how many bucks Necrit the Great takes to get him fully booked? I'm gonna tell you, 6. 6 legendary bucks to fully book this Void legendary champ, bro. You could fully book 3 Necrits before you fully book 1 Pixniel, dude. It's kind of ridiculous, man, you gotta admit. Now, is Necrit worth building? I mean, the guy's a beast. He's actually very good in multiple areas of the game, more so than his in-game reviews window would suggest. So his A1 is a triple hitter. That's great right off the get-go. Each with the chance of placing decreased attack. The effect cannot be resisted, meaning you do not have to build this guy with accuracy at all, which is great. Fire Knight, Clan Boss, whatever, you know. The A2 is a 4-turn cooldown ally attack. Teams up with allies to attack one enemy. All allies under ally protection buffs placed by Necrit will join the attack. Grants an extra turn if no enemies are killed during this attack, which is a nice bonus into most areas of the game and just really quite solid in areas where you're just going up against bosses that you're just not going to kill. Demon Lord, stuff like that, right? Fantastic as well into Arena also because, dude, his passives and his ally protection buffs are just unbelievable, but it also gives him some extra utility in PvP and in Arena. Getting to his buffs though, dude, his A3, 1 buck, dude, to get this thing down. It's crazy as hell. 3-turn cooldown, place block debuffs, ally protection, and strengthen on an ally for 3 turns. Okay, the ally protection buff cannot be removed, and then on his passive he also places ally protection buff on the ally on your team with the lowest max HP at the start of each turn. Oh, and I just read the wrong passive first. That's actually this passive right here, right? He places the block debuffs, the strengthen, and the ally protect on the ally with the lowest max HP, man. The ally protection buff gets placed on the ally with the lowest max health for 6 turns, dude. 6 turns, and it's protected? Like, what? Like, this guy is really good. Obviously, right? His other passive, by the way, the one that I accidentally clicked on, whenever an ally is attacked while under ally protection placed by this champion, place a shield buff on that ally equal to 30% of Necrit's max HP for 2 turns. Dude. What the hell? Needless to say, Necrit is definitely worth the 6 legendary skill bucks. Yeah, a true bag and bucket legendary. Next up, man, a Void legendary that's a little bit more accessible, right, that everybody's gonna be able to grind out eventually, so long as you're paying attention to your fusion components. It is, of course, the wondrous, the stupendous, the winged Mithrala Lifebane, dude. Mithrala takes 8 bucks, dude. That's it. For such a gosh darn powerful champion that, I mean, I don't care how good you think your account is, like in certain areas of the game, so you might think, oh man, I'm getting my Mithrala really late, it's took me like a couple years to get Mithrala, I've been playing this game for so long, I finally got my Mithrala. What if I'm not going to use it anyway? Don't worry about it. You will, okay? You just will, you know? I found uses for Mithrala in things like the event dungeon. Right now, on my own main account, I use it to solo the likes of Scarab King. Obviously, a bit of a bog standard use. I use her in Phantom Shoguns, my Phantom Shoguns team, alongside like a couple of budget rare champions. She basically makes the team tick. She's great for that. I use her in Hydra. She's just a great champion. And so, yeah, spoilers, she's definitely going to be worth your bucks and is an amazing value bag and bucket legendary, man. 4 legendary, 4 legendary bucks into the AO1. obviously. Attacks 2 times at random, you're getting extra chance to place poison on the A1. She brings a 3-turn cooldown A2, attack all enemies, place hex debuff for a couple turns, and also places increased defense and increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Fantastic stuff. And then she places strengthen and shield buff on a 3-turn cooldown on a A3, as well as removing all debuffs from all allies as well. Best bit about Mithrala, man, her passive. It's got nothing to do with the books, but you increase her resistance for every point of accuracy that you gain. So if you build like a 550 accuracy Mithrala or something, or like 600 accuracy Mithrala, well, you've also got yourself a 600 resistance Mithrala as well on top of that, which cannot be undervalued until you've tried it yourself and then you realize, oh my god, it's even better than it reads. Next up, man, another bag and bucket legendary, dude. Good old Morley Tankard. Technically free to acquire, I guess, for everybody. Morley requires only 8 legendary skill books, man. The A1, they're just increasing damage, so you could even just like skip on the legendary books completely on the A1 if you get lucky. Just don't need them. On the A2, 3-turn cooldown, place provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns instead. It makes it a fantastic Hydra provoker. That's like the main reason that people want to build out Morley when they do get her. I think for that reason, unless you need a provoker into Hydra and into Magma Dragon in Doom Tower specifically, and like, you're really in need of that on your account, good reliable provoker, you might consider not booking the Morley. She's not like an auto book like a lot of the other champions that we've covered so far, even though she is so cheap to book. She just bring a revive as well on a A3, which is bookable down to a 4-turn cooldown. Not sure you even need to get this book done down. You might be happy with just 1 book going into the A2, to be fair, and you might actually be fine with that and be able to use it in the likes of Hydra and stuff. Do you need a 4-turn cooldown revive into Hydra? Hopefully not. I will say that Morley has a very unique passive, which is way underrated into Chimera. So this is bookable down to a... Oh, hang on. Okay, no. Okay, I did count it. Okay, good. I thought I forgot about this book. Never mind, man. Fills the 10 meter of all allies by 25% when Morley is hit by a boss. Okay, that's not insignificant. On a 110 cooldown, that's crazy. Okay, crazy good actually into Chimera. It's a crazy good effect, right? That said, she doesn't really bring anything else to the fight in Chimera apart from the revive, which you're probably going to need against the ram form, and the 10 meter fill. She's fine though into Chimera, dude. She's not a 2.7. She's more like a 4.4 or something like a 4.3, 4.4, something like that as far as like in-game reviews go. For some reason, people are crapped all over her into Chimera. Doesn't make any sense to me, but there you go. But yeah, go ahead and book up your Morley Tankard if you're planning on using it as a Hydra provoker. Of course, she's also especially good as a Hydra provoker because she can't weak hit based on affinity, because she's placing the provoke debuff rather than attacking in and then placing the provoke as a result of the attack. It makes it so that she can't weak hit with the skill against negative affinity matchups, and so very good. Next up, man, in the bag and bucket, we're rummaging deep now, boys, but it's another 7 legendary book, legendary champion, man, Bad El Khazar. Now, Bad El is great. The reason he only requires so few books, by the way, he's only got 2 skills. His A1 is an attack all enemies, heals Bad El and all allies by 20% of the damage inflicted, which is pretty good, to be honest. And then on the, to be fair, you can even just like not book this A1. Like if you get lucky and all of your books go into the A2, you might be fine with that. Like this is not a significant skill to get like fully booked on up. Whereas the cooldown reduction on the A2, very important, right? Remove all debuffs from all allies, place 2 continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns, and place poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. Bad El Khazar is amazing into Ice Golem. He's amazing into Dragon. He's incredible into Eternal Dragon in Doom Tower as well. This basically makes it so that, you know, like the Eternal Dragon is increasing the cooldown of all of your skills. It's placing block active skills debuffs, all of that. So you're really relying on passive skills and A1 skills on your champions to be strong, to kind of carry you through that fight. If you've got a Bad El on your team, I don't think it's even possible to die, ever, to Eternal Dragon, you know? Like this A1 is just so bloody good into that fight. The poisons continue to be good into Hard Mode Dragon as well as the healing, and the debuff removal is key into Hard Mode Dragon. Also, you have him like open with his A1 into Hard Mode Dragon and then follow up with his A2 and get all of the debuff removal action going. He's one of those legendaries that you can get good value out of without booking him at all, or just booking the A2 and completely bypassing the A1 altogether. Bad El Khazar, he's a little bit old, I believe, of a legendary now. By a little bit, I mean a lot bit. But yeah, he's excellent. very, very good. 99% of people are going to want to book their bad L. Next up, man, we've got Septimus. Oh my god. Dude, just looking at this champion, I can tell that he's old, dude. Look at the goddamn wings on his head. Oh, incredible, Steven. Okay, man. Yeah, Septimus is, okay, let's just read through his kit first. Again, he's another champion that's only got a couple of skills, requires 4 books into his A1. Attacks when enemy, grant an extra 10 and reset the cooldown on this champion's, I guess, is A2, if the target is killed by the A1. Books only give you damage on this, and then on the A2, would you look at this dude, attacks, dude, the books only give you damage here as well. Attacks one enemy will ignore shield and block damage buffs. Damage increases according to enemy max HP. Hits like a truck, and then we've got the passive. Each attack has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs in the target by 1 turn. Damage inflicted by each attack also increases by 30% if the enemy's current HP is over 50. So this guy smacks. Dude, his ally attack aura is so weak. What the hell? What? 23%? Dude, that's nothing for a legendary champion. That's very, very low. I mean, God, we just had like the Thorlin Foulbeard fusion. His is 30%. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, that's low. So Septimus is a weird one, right? His books only increase the damage on his skills. No cooldown reduction, nothing like that. You're just increasing the damage of his smacks, right? Particularly on the A2, I suppose. If you could try and roll the books into this and get lucky, that would be great. But I don't know, dude. I'm very, very reluctant to sit here and talk smack about Septimus. It kind of feels like abusing an elder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to sit here and talk smack about some has-been legendary champion, because Septimus used to be an absolute monster, I believe, like long before I ever started playing Raid. This guy used to be like the man that you just like one-shot bosses with and stuff. And that's not to say that he still can't do that job, right? He's still got to be a bit of a monster and a bit of a boss killer and stuff like that. Can I actually, in good faith though, like imagine doing like an account takeover for somebody or something, and they've got like a bunch of legendaries that they can pick from, putting books into? Can I really ever imagine myself recommending that you put skill books into Septimus in 2025? I don't think so. Only because the legendary power creep has kind of got a bit out of control in Raid, you know? When Septimus was like the daddy of like one-shotting stuff in this game, and again, he can still do that job, he just didn't have that much competition going for him, you know? And I think sadly his in-game reviews kind of reflect that now, that he's just kind of been left behind by the times just a little bit. That said, just book your Septimus, dude. I mean, he's a Giga Chad. Out of respect for your elders, okay? Get your Septimi booked, okay? If you got multiple Septimus, a herd of Septimuses is referred to as a Septimi, okay? I'm inventing that term right now. Though I would recommend booking him after some higher priority champions. You know, you got like a Sun Wukong or something lying around on your account. It's just like a raw damage nuker. Sun Wukong just a bit more versatile, going to help you out in more areas of the game. Book him first. If you've got something like a Newt on your account as a max HP damage dealer, needless to say, you're probably going to book the Newt first. So I am definitely missing out on a few champions here, man. We haven't touched on like Podrick and stuff like that. There's like a couple of other like 8-book legendaries that we haven't touched on. But another champ that we haven't touched on just yet, man, is Fina. The good old faction unity champion from the High Elves faction, dude. This seems to be like a little bit of a trend that PLARIUM have going on with these faction unity champions. Maybe I'm going to investigate this in just a sec, but I feel like the faction unity champions might just be a little bit cheaper to book out. It's another one of those champions where I don't really want to read over the entire kit, because she's got a lot of stuff going on with all these like faction unity bonus skills and stuff like that. Needless to say, okay, she's got a crazy ally attack action going on her A1, and then on the A3 she places all of the just big damage, kind of like big dick buffs, 310 cooldown with an extra 10 mechanic worked in, all the way down to a protected buffs mechanic worked in if you've got 3 faction allies. Yeah, that plus the aura, the passive, all of the good stuff. Yeah, she's definitely worth booking. Yeah, Fina is a very, very good faction unity champion, obviously. Huh. So Mr. Swarm Speaker of the Dark Elves, another faction unity champion. He requires 9 skill books. We've then got Lorsan Kaleth of the Knights Revenant. He requires 8, 6, also 9 skill books. It seems like every single faction unity champion requires 8 or 9 books. Yeah, Admiral Blacktusk also requires 9. There you go, man. Just about like the cheapest legendaries to book out in the game. And the faction unity champions, so if you get omega lucky getting those, at least they don't cost that much to book. Anyways, man, I definitely missed some champions off of this list, man. These are your bargain bucket legendaries. Not all of them are worth building out, even given how cheap they are to build out with those legendary tomes. But most of them, yeah, absolute must builds if you pull these guys, just because of how cheap they are to grab. Make sure to put any champions that you feel like I missed, by the way, down below in the comments. And yeah, if you're going to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, make sure to get that done using my beginner promo link you can find down below at the top of the video description box, man. Click that link, use it to make your new account, and bam, all of the freebies that you see on screen right now shall be yours as soon as you are done with the tutorial on that new account, man. Bit of a weird video today, man. Bit of an interesting one, to be honest. More of just like a study or like factoid video than anything. Hope you guys enjoyed it all the same. And I'm going to catch all of you all this shit headband later, man.